when they needed it. And when we call, you always try to help. And that's something that I found that none of the other council people do that's on the City of Dallas Council. And that we appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you are our council person, because from what I hear about all the others, I stand up proud and I tell them, I say, well, baby, I'm sorry, you just don't let the game. I said, we have an education game going on. And so we appreciate you, and we are just blessed to have you in our life. And thank you.
Mr. Jackie Stroggins, Secretary, Southeast Dallas. Stroggins with the T. Okay. Yes, okay. Well, Jackie. She's not here.
No, they in a meeting.
Oh, they're in a meeting. Okay. Okay, now we're at Tony Boyd, President.
Councilman Atkins, our man downtown. We really appreciate the hard work and labor that you have put in developing District 8. Faith is the things we hope for and the evidence of things not seen. You've been faithful over a few things, and the Lord has made you rich over much. This facility here is one of the ideas that Councilman Atkins had when I first came over to this area 16 years ago. And I have been able to see many of his projects come to fruition living in this neighborhood, and I'm proud to say that I live in District 8 and that my council supports this neighborhood to the fullest. He has called me into his office and he's talked about many times as we as a community coming together. And slowly I have seen that come to the point where now we can go to the city council and we can ask for the things that we need in District 8, and we can receive those things.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Catrice, not Patrice, not Patricia. He's been calling me that for over 16 years. My hope is that one day he will eventually get my name right. It is Catrice, not Patrice, not Patricia. It was over 16 years. I was a young mother when I moved to the Kleberg area over 16 years ago. And at that time, they were having an election. I believe he was running against Judge Jones, or Judge Rose. And I called both offices and I said, why isn't nobody, and that's exactly what I said, why nobody coming out here campaigning in Kleberg? And then I got a knock at the door. And here he was at my door talking about put a sign in my yard. I said, no, you ain't put no sign in my yard. I need to know what you're going to do for the community. And so over the years, we have, a lot of times he used to hate to see me coming. But now I think he loved to see me coming now. But back in the day, I think he used to hate to see me coming because he knew I was going to ask, what are you going to do for Kleberg? I want to thank you for your leadership, and I just want to thank everybody for the coalition and for the opportunity to be active and involved in the community, and I'm looking for many more years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. And while Ms. Kalani is coming back up to introduce the next speaker, there is a book that's going around. It's at the very back table just in front of the officers. If you would please take a couple of moments, put your name in there, put a note in there. It could be a memorial occasion for the councilman to take away with him today. So please say something, but say something good about it. Thank you. Mr. Bodine. Did I look? Oh.
Good morning, everyone. Follow these two gentlemen here, you know, boys, like big brothers. First of all, as Councilman Atkins always says, it's a blessing to be here. But you look around, and what he said earlier about his mother, I didn't need Jane Brown to make the song that, of course, you know, it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. And that's evident. Women are our backbones. And I've been with Councilman Atkins all of his life. And I love him. And most people don't want to realize when someone gives you a helping hand. I was 6 years old, and my mom and dad divorced, and we had nowhere to go. And Councilman Atkins' mother took us in. Now, you think I'm going to ever forget that? I'm older than he is, but you can't tell, you know. Here's somebody, you hear the statement, I would take a bullet for her. It's not about being a politician, like you said earlier, what you have, if you've got a big checkbook. He has no ulterior motives. He loves his community, and I'm with him 100. What can I say? When you're telling the truth, you don't need anything written down to say it. Here's a man that has shown not only us, but everyone in this town. And I don't say city, I say town, because when we were growing up, you know, everybody would say, especially black people, you know, we used to own North Dallas. And I wish we could turn it around, let us have North Dallas back, but you know, that never happened. He loves this town, he loves his community, and he loves his family. And I love him. So here's a man that we need to say, our man downtown. God bless you, Councilman Atkins. You know I got you. Thank you, ladies, and give these ladies a hand for putting this together.
Thank you, guys. Y'all, so far, y'all set it up real nicely. But as Ms. Gale stated, I stepped down recently from the Crown Watch Neighborhood Association of 5 Mile. I don't want to talk about that because it hurts. But anyhow, it's your day, Tennell Atkins, Councilman Atkins. And I must say that out of all the years that I've served in our community, you stepped up, you got things done, everything is in motion. So I'm proud of that, and you do have a heart for District 8. And I'm proud to know you, and the relationship we built would never die, unless you say so. I'm just saying. So, but thank you, ladies, for allowing me this chance to, you know, be on the mic to speak about such a good man he is. He represents District 8 well. So, that's it, because I want to take
Came out to make this day a special day for Councilman Atkins. And I hate to start this because I know I'm not going to do it right, but there are board and commission members that's in the audience. And one is Miss Lori Blair. You're going to have to help me with your name again. David King. Is that Renee Robinson? Thank you, John Jenkins, Director of Dallas Park and Recreation. I see Councilwoman Carolyn King Arnold coming. Thanks very much to our police officers that came out in support of Councilman Atkins and all that he's done and continue to do. The good thing about it is we're glad that we can always count on you as well. If any of y'all would like to come up and say a word, please use this time now. And followed by that, Lori, don't be looking around.
I'd like to say that if you know Councilman Atkins, there are people, he will beat you up, he will tell you no, he will tell you what you did wrong, but he will always lead you down the path to being righteous. So he has trained me, he has taught me, he has given me ideals. When he assigned me the task of being his zoning and planning commissioner, he lied to me. He never told me that you guys were gonna beat me up regularly, consistently, and with great passion. Then you're gonna tell me, now go back to that meeting on Thursdays and go beat up your chair and the rest of them and get us what we need. So I thank you guys for training him up to be the leader that he is, because without him, District 8 would not be the destination place it is today.
That's a hard act to follow. I didn't know we were going to even have to come up and speak. But I would like to say I'm the newly appointed Environmental Commissioner for District 8. And I appreciate Councilman Atkins, the time he spends with me and allowing me to learn, because what I have learned is you have to be predator and prey at the same time. So we need to continue doing that in District 8. We got lots of environmental injustices, and I try to be where I need to be and think as he would think and do the things he wants done and serve this community. So thank you very much.
Hey everybody, I just want to say first, I'm David King. I represent District 8 on the Homelessness Commission, and I also chair the commission. And I just, when I heard about this event, even though, Councilmember Atkins and I were going back and forth over work we're doing all week long, I had to keep it hush-hush. But I knew I was going to be here to celebrate him. Because I have to truthfully say, out of all of the council members, out of all of the city officials that I've worked with, Councilmember Atkins, Tennell Atkins, he stands behind his word. He follows it up with action. And you can always count on him to follow through. I greatly respect him. And I think you can see the evidence of that in the works that have been developed in this community. So I have a high respect for that type of work, that type of ethic. And I'll say that, there's been many times as we've discussed the issues of homelessness in District 8 in the city of Dallas that we've talked about his upbringing, his background, and his foundation. And I just want to say that, you see the heart that he carries towards this. Just like that which was instilled by his mother, who took people in, who cared for them. One thing he always tells me is that we take care of our own. And that's something that sticks with me as I think about the work that lies ahead of us. So I'm happy to be here to celebrate him. He deserves it. And give it up for Councilmember Atkins, everybody.
Thank you. And King Arnold, thank you. She made this happen. She had another engagement, but she found her way to be here with us today. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning. Now, I know you all can do better than that. Because between this, now, you know how much Mr. Tennell Atkins brags on your community. Now, I know we were in District 4, we would be all up in here with our voices up here, so let's try to show Mr. Tennell Atkins that you can outdo District 4. Good morning. Good morning. That's more like it. So it is an honor to be here, and I could not resist this opportunity to say just a few words, because I just left from an event, and I thought I definitely need to speak on that, because it was on the bridge, on the Ron Kirk Bridge, recognizing a day of prayer and peace. And if you know Mr. Tennell Atkins, we have to pray for him. We have to pray for Mr. Tennell Atkins because he does fight, and he fights hard.
and he fights for this community, and sometimes he has to try to fight me because I have to work with him and say, now listen, I need to get some of that good stuff you're doing over in your district. So sometimes when he's really fighting, sometimes he starts speaking in a whole other language, and that's why we need to pray for him today. But when I need to get things done, just as I had to on Wednesday, because we had almost a similar event in District 4 with one of the apartments whose gas had been cut off and some things were going, and I had to get out of my seat, and I know folks were wondering what was going on. I went over there and tapped him on the back. What? Come on out here and so you can see what's going on. And so by the time he went and tapped a few more folks and code, we huddled up in the room, and he started working his magic and speaking in tongues and some other languages, and so we got to moving. And so I thank him for the big brother leadership that he gives to me and also on the council. But just thank you for letting me be here and share. And on my way, I was sharing with someone that this is a fantastic facility out here. Please give it up for Ms. Gail Terrell. I think she was on the board, Mr. Bowe, Mr. Atkins, and anyone else that I missed on this facility. This is a fantastic institution here. So you need to protect it, keep it strong, and also know that I'm trying to do something similar to it. But anyway, thank you so very much, and just thank you for sharing. And Mr. Tennell Atkins, keep on doing what you've been doing, but just know we are working together, and 4 and 4 equals 8, and that's how we work that formula. Thank you.
Ms. Hopkins from UNT. Good afternoon, I'm Lisa Hobson from University of North Texas, Dallas, right across Camp Wisdom. We are neighbors. We're so happy for you, Councilman Atkins. I bring remarks on behalf of President Mung. He would have been here today, but guess what? We're growing so fast that we have 2 graduations today, 2 commencement ceremonies being held in Lowesville. So I am here in his stead to just say congratulations. We're so excited for you. We love being a partner. Right across the road, we have the Runyon Creek Trail that starts at UNT Dallas and comes right here to this beautiful facility that just is heaven sent. We do have a little gift on behalf of UNT Dallas. We know as a public agency, we give gifts under $50 by state law. So this is in compliance, please note that. This is in compliance, no accusations, no stories in these various newspapers in the community. I won't say the name. However, we're very excited, and thank you, love being a partner. One last thing, I'm so excited I'm able to work in this community and vote too. I voted too right here in the Singing Hills Recreation Center. Thank you, everyone, have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Maria, 49-9, UTA, make sure you log that in. The gift. Okay, thank you. You know, it's great to be here. You cannot be here without great people and great leadership. And I just want to say thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But you look around and you saw Mr. King, from City of Dallas. But you forget about people who's not born and raised in the City of Dallas. And that's different, you know. It's kind of amazing when you leave another city, another country, another state, and you come to Dallas, you feel like you were born and raised. And you always say, I'm from Dallas, I'm from Dallas. I like to do everything in Dallas. And there are many people out there is not from Dallas. You know, they're from another city, another state. Well, they come here, but they claim it. And with that, and there was a great man, you know, a track star, and I ran track, and I love track, Johnny run track. And this other person run track, I never didn't know he was a track star until he started talking about track. And I said, well, okay, Johnny, you know, we got another person who know how to run. So you know how to run, you know how to be independent. You have to be your soul person. When you run track, it's an individual sport. It's not a team sport. When you run a relay, it's a team. But when you run an individual sport, you're running for yourself and for the people. And you run to be the best you can be, the best you can be. And that's what build relationship and build stuff. He said, I got to do it by myself. If I don't do it, I can't get it done. And this man has been an independent person to try to get stuff done in this community. And many people did not know who he was. You know, they just didn't know, but they saw his name and saw his marquee and seen things here. I just want to do this special recognition for Roland Parish. Roland Parish is a Dallas resident, highly successful entrepreneur and CEO of Parish Restaurant Ltd. And you don't know the restaurant we're talking about, McDonald's. He probably about 25 McDonald's in this area. A whole lot of people don't know what he do. But he been giving back for many, many years. Whereas Parish Restaurant Ltd. has consistently been named by the Black Enterprise magazine the top 100 black-owned business in the United States. And whereas Roland Parish is a supporter and chair of Fix University and HBCU and Finance Strength Community. Parish Restaurant and Parish Charity Foundation has sponsored the Miracle on Highway 67 in Zion Western Home Junior Community Outreach Center and the Roland Parish McDonald Student Athlete of the Week, and had donated more than 5,000 bicycles to fifth graders. Whereas Roland Parish served as a mentor and role model for the African American youth while offering work and business experience as Parish Restaurant Ltd. And whereas Roland Parish is a Dallas philanthropy who has contributed to initiative support in youth and education. Now, therefore, I, Tennell Atkins, Council of City of Dallas, on behalf of the Dallas City Council and Mayor Eric Johnson, do hereby extend a special recognition to Roland Parish for his long time dedicated commitment to the City of Dallas, presented by Councilman Tennell Atkins on May 7, 2022. And I want you to give a good applause for him. And Roland, there might be a little issue with this, you know, something wrong, but we're going to change this and get another one. But this is just a token from us. But one thing you don't realize, those restaurants that he takes care of probably is one of the highest volume restaurants south of I-30. Not north, but south of I-30. But one thing he do, he give back to the community. He give back constantly to the community. And we need to know who he is, and we need to shop and know who he is and what he's gonna do. But Roland, you gotta say something, Roland, you know, about, no. Hey, the people work for me. I just want you to tell the church and when you give back. The church, the university you gave to, the resident entrepreneur, but they need to know what you do. You're not just a person that make money, but you give back to the community. People need to know that we have a black business person in the city of Dallas know how to give back to help us. And we don't know what charity you're giving, how we know what you're doing. So I just want you to just say who you give to. The university, just short. I know you gave so many millions of dollars, so I just want to make sure that you get your problem.
Thank you very much, everybody. I will say one thing, Councilman, and I really thank my people for this. I started in Pleasant Grove 30 years ago, opened on Juneteenth, 1989, didn't think much about Juneteenth. And I'm gonna just tell you, some of the restaurants in Pleasant Grove and in South Dallas, they're actually some of the highest volume restaurants in the state. So, higher than some of the ones up north, and so I do thank everybody. I'm gonna try to begin to name some things that I support. As you mentioned, the Zen Wesley Homes, it's a settlement house we give to. We've given over 5,000 bikes to fifth graders, DISD, and it's more than that. St. Philip School, we've given a 7-figure donation. Fisk University, HBCU, we have a building being built there. The Redbird Mall, number 2, and that's really investment in the community. And Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Duncanville High School, Lincoln High School, Skyline High School, SOC. I'm gonna tell this story and I'm gonna sit down. Councilman King Arnold asked me to say some words for SOC and everybody were happy with them winning the championship. And I said, Ms. King, I didn't do anything, so I don't want to talk. But next year if they win, I'm gonna talk because we're putting some more equipment in there. We put some fridges in there so they can have some sports drinks because these children are hungry. A lot of them gonna get a full meal, So we got coolers that went in. We're going to have sports drinks. What do you call it? What do you do when you build muscle? What do you call it? The drinks that build muscle? That milk-based stuff. And so Carter High School choir. So anyway, it's a lot I give to the community, and not Luke 12:48. Too much is given, much is required. But thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Just want to join in on everyone. These two gentlemen are two of my best friends in this world, and Roland, he's so giving that I called him one day and he said, "Oh, Johnny, I answered the phone because it's not going to cost me anything." So he operates with an open heart. And just a quick story, Roland was making a major investment in Redbird Mall, and was struggling, trying to get the thing done, and need some help at the city. And I said, "Well, Roland, you don't know my friend. You don't know who to talk to." And guess who that friend was? So I have the privilege and the honor of having hooked these two guys up. And that hookup, I believe, contributed greatly to Redbird Mall becoming a reality. And I know. We went down to the city when they were getting ready to do a $22 million grant to the infrastructure. And the champion of that, Tennell, showed up at the council meeting with this book about this big, and was turning all of these pages and telling them all the things and all the reasons why they ought to do Redbird Mall, and was a big reason that we have Redbird Mall today. So sometimes an introduction, I'm proud of that introduction, and I'm proud of both of these guys. And Roland, keep up the good work, keep that wallet open so they'll come to me. But I don't worry, I do write checks. But Roland is a very rare individual. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize him.
Thank you, and congratulations, Councilman Atkins. Congratulations, Roland Parrish. Y'all are both well deserving of it. There's one other person that we were gonna call on to say a few words, Kalani. And followed by that, we'll start taking some photos. Again, there's a book that's going around. Please keep it going. It's all the way over to my right. And if you would just please put your name in there. If you would like, say a few words. And so Councilman can walk away with our thoughts on this day about him.
Mr. or Mrs. Scroggins, which of you want to come and talk to us?
All right. Oh, good afternoon, everyone, and we came running in because our meeting is the same day as this for the councilman. So we had to run some people home, and then we had to come back here. But it was all worth it because he's worth it. And on behalf of the Southeast Dallas Civic Association and our president, John Scroggins, we would like to say congratulations to you, Councilman Atkins, on your retirement coming up. And we'd like to also thank you for your outstanding service. We often take for granted the enormous amount of work done behind the scenes to run the largest district in the city. However, our Councilman Atkins, never buckled under the difficulty. He's a fighter from way back. And when there was something to fight for in his district, he knew it couldn't fail. He felt like if he was going against Moby Dick, he was going to bring the tartar sauce. He wanted our community to always know that he was behind us and that he cared for us, and he would never allow us to be marginalized. He understands that satisfaction is not based on possessions, power, or prestige, but a relationship with people you respect. The councilman is committed to working with our coalition to make sure he leaves us with the knowledge we need to continue the fight, to continue maintaining our communities. And to know who we should actually contact and what department, what supervisor we need to talk to. He has also been very instrumental in helping to build that camaraderie with the police and city services in our community. Because he believes that all it takes for evil to flourish is that good men and women do nothing. So we salute you, Councilman Atkins. We salute you. We salute you for leaving us a little bit better than you found us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
Councilman Atkins, your co-city council.
Good afternoon, how's everybody doing? Good. Surprise. You on my list too? Exactly like that, because we talked just yesterday. I was like, what you got going on today? And he did not mention this, so the secret was safe. So I want to thank everybody who put this together. Let's give Councilman Atkins a round of applause. He is the second hardest working city council member in the city.
Who's the first?
Close second, but he's second. So I'm glad to be able to be here just to say thank you. He's been a mentor. He's been a friend. He checks on me, make sure that I'm doing okay. And I know I need to check on him, make sure he's doing okay. You know, I saw someone who made this comment, check on your strong friends. And oftentimes we think our strong friends are able to handle everything and anything, but they're not. They want to put on a good public face, so most times that many of us are not concerned about them. So I'm checking on my strong friend right here because he's a strong brother, and I saw Councilmember Arnold. You know, we formed this triangle down at the Horseshoe, and on Wednesday we were all singing the same song. We want equity, racial equity for Southern Dallas. So we're working together. We're all on the same page. But this is your special day. I'm glad they were able to surprise you, because it's hard to surprise Councilman Atkins with anything. So thank you, and I'm glad to be here.
The book is still going around. If you haven't had an opportunity to put some notes in it, please do so. If you haven't had an opportunity to vote, you're right at the right place to get that done. I want to recognize the manager of the Singing Hill Recreation Center. He has done a tremendous job for helping to make sure that this was all well coordinated. And hats off, I don't see her in the audience, but hats off to who's known as Miss Community, Diane Gibson, for helping us to make sure that we had just what we needed to make this.
And so we never get up here at 9 o'clock, so we just walk our own time. So we started walking, and then we moved over to Cowboy, we come back, and then we started going to the bridge and come back. And when we went up to the UNT campus to see how far, then we were like, oh, they're already there, you know. So then when we decided, well, we'll walk from UNT campus back this way. Well, then I'm like, I'm too tired. I can ride the train. I said,
continue to work.